Carbon ceramic brakes with the gold calipers. And this M3 is painted in frozen Tampa Bay green metallic. A BMW individual color. For the M3, the M4, those cost $4,500. So base price on this M3 Competition xDrive is 86 grand. As tested, it's just shy of $111,000. But wow, look at this. It's just incredible. Like these wheels, carbon ceramics look really nice. And you know they're carbon ceramics because you get the gold calipers. We have 275/35 R19 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires in the front, specifically developed for the M3, and then a staggered setup. So we have 20s in the rear. These are 285/30 R20s, so a little bit wider. What do you guys think? The new M3 has been out for a few years. Are we warming up to the Bavarian Beaver buck-toothed grille? I think we might be. We've gotten used to it. I said this when this first came out. You know, everyone was, oh my gosh, the horror. But after a few years, this is looking pretty good, especially with some of these individual BMW colors. Here's the M Carbon roof. Look at these seat backs. The M3 is still, as it always has been, a very usable car. You can daily drive this. It could be your only car. You can use it as a family car. That's one selling point for the four-door sedan. And honestly, I've always preferred the M3 sedan over the two-door M4, just because I think it looks better. The proportions are a little bit nicer, and you get easy access to the back seat. And there's plenty of room back here. This is my driving position at 5'10". I can put my feet underneath the seat. This is great. Not really an armrest, just a center pass through there. It's okay. Got a Harman Kardon sound system. The interior looks fantastic with all the M Kardon bits. It says iDrive 8.5. I mean, it's here to stay. We've got a few physical controls and quick access buttons. No adaptive cruise control spec on this M3, but otherwise, you know, you get used to this interior if you live with it. I like that they have still retained a lot of quick access physical controls down here, and we actually get a real shifter in this M3, something that we can use while we're driving if we're sliding this thing around a little bit crossed up. Earlier this week on the skid pad, I was actually using this to change gears while I was counter steering. You can't even do that in a Porsche 911 anymore unless if you go for a GT3, which good on BMW for keeping drivers in mind with a physical shifter. Trunk space here is ample. Opens automatically. No spare tire or anything like that, but there's plenty of room back here. And you can fold those rear seats down and get a nice pass-through. Here's your BMW toolkit. It's just a roadside assistance number. That's okay. And then you can close the trunk right there. Quad exhaust tips, super menacing from the back. I love the rear three-quarter profile of this new M3. I think it just looks so aggressive. Let's pop the hood. Take a look at this S58. This is a 3-liter twin-turbo inline-six. Again, 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. It's rated for 18 miles to the gallon combined, though I think I read somewhere, like on Car and Driver's website, this averaged 32 on the highway in their testing. So yeah, your fuel economy is definitely going to depend on how you're driving it, but BMW efficient dynamics are a real thing. You can get some insane fuel economy with these engines on the highway if you're just cruising along, but if you're hammering, you're going to burn through some fuel. The performance here is fantastic, and it can put it all down now with all-wheel drive. All right, let's hop inside. I'll show you a couple more things in the interior, and then we'll go drive this thing. Auto up-down windows on all four corners, 2-seat memory settings. Also, pretty good fuel range in this M3. At a full tank, I had about 400 miles of estimated driving range. Right now, at 7/8, we're at 322 miles, which isn't too bad. The M3 also retains one of my favorite features in a car, a dimmer switch. Haven't gotten rid of that yet. BMW, don't even think about it. That's fantastic for night driving, especially with all these bright screens, the ambient lighting. You hit that, and everything just dims down nice and dark for so you can see at night. Here are our cup holders, our wireless charge pad. Passenger gets a nice pocket right here. Same with the driver. I guess you could fit a decent sized water bottle in there. And there's a little bit more storage space right here under your armrest in the center console cubby. You get a USB-C port. This M3 is equipped with the galvanic controls, $100 optional extra. Little silver accent around everything, which is nice. This knurled volume knob feels nice in hand. We get nice reverse 360 forward-facing cameras, something that I feel like a lot of sports cars omit. When you're approaching that curb with your low front splitter, it's nice to have a camera view to show you what's coming up. Engine stop-start buttons right there, parking brake, and still the kind of the old school iDrive controller. I feel like ergonomically this button layout actually works better than what they've implemented in some of the newer BMW products. CarPlay connectivity, wireless, it's been good all week. You guys know iDrive 8.5. It is pretty responsive. And again, once you get all your settings set up, you can just kind of forget about it. Auto climate control in these cars does work really, really well. So I will give BMW credit for that. And it's nice to have these constant icons right here. The auto fan speed settings work nicely too. Yeah, I just leave this in CarPlay all the time. It is a distracting system to use for those first few days when you're getting acquainted, setting everything up. But after that, honestly, if you're living with this car, it's probably fine. All right, let's go drive. We're going to start off in everything in comfort mode. M1 ramps it up a little bit. M2 goes full ham. We probably won't need that, but we'll just start in comfort and go from there. Ride quality here is nice. It's about what you'd expect for an M3. In comfort mode, though, it doesn't beat you up. I feel like the manual M3 was a little bit softer in some respects. Different suspension tuning, less weight, no all-wheel drive system to deal with. We've had a couple of these cars on track over the years, and the performance from the Competition M3 is just so much more brutal and immediate than the base manual car. The manual is still quick, but the extra 50 horsepower, the different state of tune here, the extra strength from the 8-speed auto that can handle more torque, more horsepower, it really makes for a different driving experience. Ultimately, it comes down to whether you are a manual driving purist or if you just want the most performance from your M3. Grip here is absolutely insane. These carbon ceramic brakes are easy to modulate. You get two settings, comfort and sport. In sport mode, you get a little bit more bite on initial pedal input. There's a little bit of road noise from these Michelins on the highway, but overall, it's pretty quiet in here. You can hold a conversation, you can listen to music, no problem. Visibility is nice. You also have a speed limiter. Good ergonomics on the steering wheel, nice button separation. You can use everything very quickly without having to look down. It's not distracting. Honestly, I've really grown to like this M3 interior. Eight-speed tuning on the highway is pretty good. Sometimes it will give you a bit more of a downshift than I feel like it needs to, but you can always take over with the paddles and shift manually. There is a lot of torque here, even at lower RPMs. Launch control in this car is insane. I've seen some tests get 0 to 60 times in under 3 seconds, which is bonkers. That you can still put this in their 2-wheel drive. It's like you get 2 cars in one. All-wheel drive puts its power down beautifully. But if you want to have a little bit of fun, you're taking this on the racetrack, you like to go sideways, it just does it all. Let's do a quick braking test and then one more launch control, because that was insane. Getting used to it now. I braced myself, but that first launch hit hard. That was wild. Just amazing performance. Rapid. You have all of this adjustment with M traction control too. And we're not going to be sliding this thing around too much on the street today. We've got a full skid pad drift video for you guys coming. But it actually puts its power down really well in 2-wheel drive mode with everything off. Could just be this new steering wheel, but this week I've actually been pretty happy with the steering feel in this M3. I feel like it communicates well. It gives me a nice idea of road textures at the limit. It tells me what's going on with those front tires, whether they're slipping or gripping. And when you're sliding this thing around, especially on the skid pad at the BMW Performance Center, it tended to auto steer quite well. So it gave me a lot of information, a lot of feedback as to what was going on. Maybe they've tweaked it slightly for the 25 model year. Maybe they've always made little improvements, but I do like the steering. It's light at low speeds, but weights up nicely in different drive modes. Sport steering isn't too heavy. Doesn't feel like it's artificially weighted either. It's nice. All right, so let's sum up some thoughts here with the 2025 BMW M3 Competition xDrive. Do I notice the extra 20 horsepower here? Maybe. I don't know. This thing has always been super fast. Now it's even crazier. Would I take this, though, over the manual base car? It depends what you want. If you're a manual driving purist, you got to go for the manual. It's a great driving experience. I think the manual M3 might be my favorite manual BMW to drive besides the Z4. And the Z4 might kind of take the cake, honestly. That car's just so fun. I absolutely love it. I want to buy one someday. But it's been really interesting to drive the manual M2, the manual M3, and then this car, all kind of within a week or two of time. So the manual M2 I found to be really difficult to drive smoothly in any drive mode outside of efficient. So in Sport and Sport Plus, the throttle was just an on-off switch. It was just too difficult to drive that car smoothly. The throttle tuning, the calibration just wasn't quite right for that 6-speed manual. The automatic, no issues there. The manual M3 was a lot easier to drive, even in Sport Plus mode. In Sport mode, it was just smoother. It was more fluid. The way the revs dropped, the shifter feel, everything was just a little bit better calibrated, I feel. And it was a pleasant manual driving experience, whereas the M2, I felt like you were always fighting it. And that wasn't the case in the M3. So the power may not be as brutal, as exciting, or as immediate as it is in this competition, but the manual M3 is still a really, really nice car to drive. So ultimately, it comes down to whether, like I said at the beginning of the video, whether you want the most performance, or if you're a manual diehard or a manual purist and you just want that more engaging driving experience. If it were my money, I would probably go for the manual, just because I think it would be just so cool to have a manual four-door sedan in 2025. That said though, this M3 Comp with the horsepower bump, the extra power here, the 8-speed auto, is a performance powerhouse. We've had these cars on track in the past and they've just blown us away. And this still continues to deliver in 2025. If anything, it's just gotten better. iDrive 8.5 works well. The M Carbon package is such an expensive option, but it's such a cool option at the same time. There's some cool stuff here. I like many of the things that BMW has done with this new M3. I think they've just kind of continued to knock this car out of the park. Honestly, with the new M5 and the direction that car has taken, this kind of might be the sweet spot in the M car lineup these days. The M2 is about the size of what the M3 used to be. This is big enough to fit a whole family in. It's a great package, and I've really enjoyed my time in it this last week, beyond what, just driving this car specifically. So anyway, it's been a fantastic week with a bunch of different BMWs. This car has just been the icing on the cake. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. And go check out the skid pad drifting video on the M3 Comp at the BMW Performance Center. That was a real treat. We've got some more BMW videos coming for you soon, including an E36 M3 Lightweight, which will probably be out before this video drops. But gosh, that was just a treat. It's been really cool to experience a variety of M3s throughout different generations. And as far as modern M3s go, this is one of my favorite that I've ever driven. I think the E92 was awesome. The V8 will never be reproduced. As far as performance, driving engagement, tech, interior quality, this delivers on pretty much all fronts. And I've been really happy with spending time in this car this week. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap on this video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. It's getting super confused, me walking around it with the proximity key setting on.